My name is Shayy Winn. I graduated from the Special Center of Performing Arts at Thomasdale High School. When I heard the doctor say that I was going blind, in my head I was like, holy cow. Is he serious right now? Because I'm like, I know he's not serious. I hope he's not serious.
I'm here.
But
serious. Wait. I'm so
Serious. Nice. I'm here.
is it the iPad?
Oh, see, it wasn't me. Look at me. I was the one to take the fall.
Oh.
All right, so let's go to Idol. How did you submit? Do you submit a video or you go to the audition when they go to different cities? How did that happen in an abbreviated version?
I went to, when they came here on the tour bus, I actually just went to the train station and just auditioned.
And what was the song you did?
At first I had done Make It Rain, and then I did Rise Up. And then Rise Up was the one that was like, hey, go to the next round. Go to the winner's circle. And I'm like, okay. And it was weird because it was a square of curtains. So I'm like, okay, I'm going in there. So I go in there, and you gotta do the same stuff. Tell them about your story. Tell them about who you are. And then you gotta record like a minute or something of like an audition for the executives. And then once you pass that one, then you gotta wait and they give you a call back to see if you pass that one. And my mom got the call back and then showed up at my school while I was in English class with my principal. And he was playing the American Idol theme song, and I had no idea what he was playing. I was like, that sounds familiar, but I have no idea what that noise is. And then I figured it out once I looked, and I was like, oh, crap. What's wrong? And then there goes my specialty center coordinator.
Hey, Shayla made it to the next round of American Idol.
Once it finally clicked, I had the ugly cry. But then I went to Atlanta, and I did my callback, which you got to go through 2 more rounds there. And once you pass that round, that's when you get to go to see the judges, the celebrity judges. And that's where I went to Louisville.
Tell me about what that was like when you did your audition song for the judges.
So going into my audition, I was very, very nervous. Well, one, it was late. It was very, very, very late. And I had a very, very long day because, you know, they have to film the crowd, like the line of people, and all of you act really excited. But it's really early in the morning, so nobody's really excited except for the camera guy who's drank like 5 cups of coffee. Who's like, yeah, everybody get up, hype up, I want to see you yelling and screaming. And you're like, like it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Yay. I'm here. And I'm not trying to damage my voice either, so yay. But you just, for that, I had to be there at 7 in the morning, and I didn't audition till like 9 at night. And I wasn't allowed, like, as a person that was auditioning, I couldn't leave to go get food. So somebody had to go out and bring it to me to eat. But at first I was scared to eat because I didn't know when I was going to audition, because they don't tell you the order in which you're going to audition. They just like, we'll call you when we call you. But because I was the last one of the night, the guy decided to be really, really kind and was like, so Shayla, you know how they say save the best for last? Well, we're just, you know. I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I was like, don't tell me. He was like, I'm sorry, you're last. I was like, great! Great! So I guess I'm just going to have Uncle Mike go get me a sub, and I'm going to take a nap between this chair and my mom. And that's what I did. But once I got up there to the audition room, one, I was really nervous before I even stepped into that room. First, I was upset because I didn't get to meet Ryan Seacrest that day. But I saw him running around the lobby earlier that day, but apparently he had something to do when it came time to do my audition because I was late. Like, it was nighttime when I went. So I'm like, okay. I'm nervous. I'm sitting here with my cane, and I'm just, like, rocking myself back and forth and things like that. And then I walk in with my mom, and they tell me there's going to be, like, a tea on the floor, so she, like, puts me on the tea or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, hello. And at first I'm like, hi. Because, like, I can't see them, and then the way their mics were set up, it didn't sound like it was coming from where they were sitting. Mm-hmm. I could hear it in the speakers, like, on the side. So I'm like, they sound like holograms. Is this real? I was like, are they really there? But then as soon as I was like looking around because I couldn't see them or find them. And then I see Katy Perry and I was like, oh, there they go. Because her outfit was bright enough against the background for me to see. So then I was like, oh, they're right there. That's where they are. And I was like, hi. And then I started talking to them a little bit and then I told them the story and then I sang. I had no idea that they were crying. I actually had no absolute idea until Katie, I think, or Luke. Somebody said that Lionel was crying. And I was like, huh? He's crying? Was I that bad? And then he came over and hugged me. And I was like, oh, okay. Wow. I'm getting hugged by a celebrity. This is pretty cool.
Like,
I've never seen Lionel cry this much.
And then
letting the music flow straight
they
from the soul, and that's what you
also they had said something. I can't remember exactly what they said because it was so long ago. But they had said something to me and they were talking to me. And then they stood up and they was like, you're going to Hollywood. And they were holding it up. And I'm just looking like, what? Like, I'm going, like, so then they're like, hold on, you stay there. We're going to come to you. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I was like, okay, cool. Because I'm not going to walk and, like, run into the desk and everybody on camera see me run into the desk. So they came and then they all gave me a hug and they handed the ticket to me. And then they hugged my mom. And I started ugly crying again. And then Katy Perry had a conversation with me. Where she just, like, basically was, like, encouraging me and motivating me to keep going. And then we left. And that was...
Beyond words, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that had to be so exciting.
Yeah, it was. It was very exciting because not many people can say they hugged them.
But to be that good, too. I mean, you moved Lionel Richie to tears. And Katy Perry had a few tears, too. I mean, that's awesome. And then, so how many rounds did you make it through?
I made it up to the top 40. So I got eliminated in Hawaii. But hey, I said, hey, I got a trip to Hawaii. How many people can say that? So if you wanted to get eliminated, the best place would have been in Hawaii.
Were you able to enjoy the cities you were in, or was it too much work?
I got to enjoy Hawaii, not LA. Hollywood Week, you don't get to enjoy it. You go straight from the hotel to the theater and then back to the hotel. And by the time you're done, you're going to the next, if you're going to the next round, then you're tired. Like, you don't want to, like, you're not, well, not one tired, but you're tired and you have to already get started on the next round that night. So you're like exhausted, but got to keep working so that I can finish early so I can go to bed.
Did you make friends?
I did. My group members, I absolutely love them. I still communicate with them. And I was cool with everybody on the set, but those were like my closest peoples because they took me in because I was the baby of the group. I was the youngest person in the adult section because my birthday's in November. So when I auditioned, I was 17. But come Hollywood Week, I was 18. So they said, guess what? You're an adult now. So adult land you go. And I was like, so you're just going to do me like that? Just going to kick me out of the kids section and just put me in the adult section? I'm not even out of high school yet. But basically, yeah, so I had to hang out with the adults, and they were, like, big helps, which is Meech and Asada and Will.
And was it hard when others got eliminated before you?
It was really hard at first when Will got eliminated, because he got eliminated that night of group night, which we didn't understand why. We were like, we thought we did so good. Why would they eliminate him? But we knew that he would do great no matter what. And plus, it was probably destined for him to go home because he had a baby. Well, he was getting ready to have a baby. There was a baby on the way. So then Asada and I, we got eliminated at the same time. So we were more like, okay, you know, we're just gonna do this together. And Meech went on. I don't know exactly. I can't remember. Meech was in the top 10. So
That's right.
we were cheering for Meech and all of that. So we were supporting him in his journey above.
Was it harder being part of Idol? Not only just the workload and the stress of it, but being vision impaired? Did that make it harder?
It did at some points, because there was nobody with like my vision level, because the other person that was there was completely blind. So, and he'd been blind all his life, so he knows a lot more than I do. So sometimes it got hard, but luckily I had my group and my mom to help with those type of situations. And my teacher was a phone call away, even when I was in Hawaii, and you know, Hawaii is like 5 hours ahead of us. I would call him and be like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon here. So he just got us going. I'd be like, Mr. Barrick, I need your help. I picked a hard song and I don't know why I did it, but I did it. And I just need some tips. He was like, hold on, I gotta go listen to the song. And then he would call me back, no matter how late it was. I think I called him one time at 2 o'clock in the morning on accident because I didn't notice it was 2 o'clock in the morning, because keeping track of the time changes in your head. Sometimes it's a little messy.
What was it like when they politely told you this is the end?
It was upsetting, and I tried to hold it together, but it was real bad when I walked into the room with the cast in there, and then Asada and Meech were sitting right in the front row, and I was like, oh God, I know if I see them and I have to tell them what happened, they're going to make me sad. And then boom, I just ugly cried all over again. And it was okay. But then after that, I got what I wanted. So I got my shrimp. I had a goal of getting some shrimp while I was on that island. I went to three different food trucks to get 3 different types of shrimp because that was my goal. I had heard they had the best shrimp on the island. I mean, in like, you know, the U.S. So I'm like, if I'm going to be in Hawaii, I have to get some shrimp. If the shrimp is so good, I need to see if it's really what they're making of it. And, you know, I enjoyed that shrimp. I ate a whole plate of shrimp. It was like, I don't know, it's like a big pile. And then I started picking out of my uncle's plate. But it was glad to get my shrimp, and I enjoyed actually performing there because that was like the first kind of like concert-ish type of thing I had been to, let alone performing in it. And then I got to perform at night, and I got to see a whole bunch of different things, so I still got to enjoy my time in Hawaii, which was great.
Once in a lifetime.
Of course. Because, I mean, honestly, filming did not really start in Hawaii until right before the performance, which was like that Sunday to Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So we had a whole week to do whatever. And just record us doing some fun things. Like, I think Idol put a clip of, like, Uche getting, like, totally knocked over by a whole wave, and we saw, like, the whales sometimes out in the thingy. A seal, like an endangered seal, came on the shore. We got to walk around the resort and just have so much fun. You could go to the luau's and all of that. And we got to stay on the Disney resort, so you know it was really, really, really nice. Oh, yeah. So I really, really enjoyed that.
You got to perform Rise Up at the very end. Did you know who was coming on stage to perform with you? Oh, you did? Mm-hmm.
I knew exactly who was coming. Okay, so, I mean, I knew exactly who was coming, but it was a surprise to everybody else. So, I mean, some people were like, I knew it because it's her song. So, obviously, they're like, I knew it. But I was like, when I heard that she wanted to sing with me, I was like, what? I was like, she saw it? Like, it made it that far that she saw the video? And then I was like, gosh, I'm nervous now. That means I actually got to meet her. goodness. And that's exactly what happened. I met her and I had my moment of a scream and then I let it go. And then I saw her and she talked to me and she hugged and she said she cried when watching the video. I was like, but it's your song. And then she was like, but she sang it so well. And she was like, she was like, you sound so pretty. I was like, I sound pretty. Your voice is like, okay, like amazing. But okay, I mean, you can sing. And it makes me even more nervous. Now I'm singing your song in front of you. So she was like, you're nervous? I'm nervous to sing with you. And I was like, you're nervous to sing with me, but you're the celebrity.
Now, because you're not going to hear my voice, it's all your sound bites, can you say who she was?
Oh, Andra Day. I got to sing with Andra Day, and singing with her was like amazing. It was cool. It was a different experience. You know, it's not every day you can say,
Bless you. It's not every day you can say achoo. That is a once in...
I'm sorry. I know that probably hurt your ears. Because it was right in the mic. Like,
They're coming back now. It's all good.
I'm sorry.
This has been an entertaining interview between serious, your sense of humor. Oh, that's great. And all those people, too. What about performing to an audience that huge?
I couldn't see him, so I can't really answer that question.
That was a stupid question, wasn't it? But you had to know.
I mean, I could hear them screaming, but it was, okay, so it was funny because obviously, you know how cameras work and setting up works. So for me, what they didn't realize is like, I mean, what they didn't show was like when Ryan Seacrest was saying his little spiel, like introducing me, I was already standing on the stage. That's why people were screaming over him. So I got over that like in the first 15, like I'm standing there for like, they said it was 45 seconds, but it felt like so much longer than 45 seconds because I'm sitting here with these heels on, like just standing there awkwardly, like just like I can't even hear Ryan Seacrest. I don't know when I'm supposed to start singing. So I was like, I'll just have to wait till the piano comes out of the sky and I'll just figure it out and catch it, you know?
How did you know? Just from the intro, you would hear the piano, you couldn't see it.
Right, so they even had the instruments behind me somewhere behind me on that side.
But
The
you
piano
could
was
hear
somewhere.
it?
Yeah, I can hear them.
Okay.
Because they had my monitors on, so the speakers are facing me because I told you my ears are way too tiny for the earpiece to fit in my ear. So they had so we had practiced it, but you know, each time I don't necessarily know when he's gonna hit it. So it's like, all right, just gonna have to wait. But once I hear it, boom, you gotta go. It kind of reminded me like when I used to run track. When you hear the gun, it's not like you can hesitate. You gotta go. As soon as you hear it, boom, gone. You know? So that's how it was kind of like, I gotta go. As soon as I hear him here, ding, ding, sing.
Now, did you have to keep it secret for a while until it aired? How long was that period between Hawaii and when you made it too? Like,
Okay.
how did that work out? Don't you have to keep it secret?
So I had to keep everything a secret except for the finale. I had to keep a secret, but that was much shorter of a secret to hold. I actually had to keep the secret of anything that happened until the show aired. And I couldn't talk about what was coming up, and I couldn't tell people what was going to happen. I just had to be like, you just gotta watch and see what happens to me. Because I can't tell you anything. And a lot of the times, people thought that I was gone during those things. They didn't realize it was pre-recorded. I was like, I know people in my classrooms, y'all had to figure out something. I was gone for a long time. Like, I would disappear for a week and then come back the next week if I wasn't tired enough. Like, I know y'all knew something was up, but a lot of people didn't figure it out that I was pre-recording the show. And things like that. So the secret had to last until everything I did aired. So basically, I still couldn't really even tell it because the TV had to tell it for me before I could say anything.
How was it like going back to school? This is outside Idol now. After you lost most of your vision.
Going back to school was tough because, one, I didn't know what I was going to do because obviously I had no idea what Braille was. I mean, I knew what it was. I've heard of it before, but I never knew that I was going to have to learn it. I didn't know how I was going to be able to read stuff. It was difficult. And then I will say, like, a lot of the kids, like, I guess unknowingly were, like, not very, how do I say it, bending to the situation. They would just go about their days. You know, teenagers, in their own minds. They think about themselves first. And more like they would just walk around the halls and not really pay attention. Or stand in the middle of the hallway and not really pay attention until their ankles got slapped by my cane.
Was it hard to navigate the halls?
No. I had been there for 2 years prior and I had memorized the school. For the most part. I was walking my teachers around the school.
And being in class, you're able to keep up with, like, physics or whatever you were in at that point? It has to be hard.
My teachers were some of them were very nice and were willing to work with me outside of class if I needed help. But physics, I really didn't need that much help. Surprisingly, I was really good at physics, but I was good at it because the way my teacher took the approach was the algebraic way. And I'm pretty good at algebra. I'm, like, really good at algebra. Like, I can do some of it in my head, just not good when it comes to graphs. Don't give me a graph. I had extra time to do some assignments because tests would be hard, especially in history when you have a 100-word question test. It took me 200 sheets of 17 by 11 paper and 100 font in bold. So, you know, it would take me a while to get through that because my eye can only read, like, one word at a time. And yeah, but I think I did pretty well with coping with it, and so did my 3 assistants. Yeah, I had 3 assistants and a private classroom.
What?
It was actually a closet, like a storage closet, but they cleared it out and just, like, let us build a classroom because when it came to doing chemistry with the periodic table, we had a giant periodic table that took them, like, a whole day to put together. And it was across the wall. And they put it together. Besides the fact that my teacher loves the periodic song, like the periodic table song, that I don't like. I was, like, so bothered by it. I was like, please stop. This is torture. But they had all of that stuff. So my teachers were very, very bendy and very, very good with helping with the coping mechanisms and showing teachers and explaining to teachers what was going on. Hence where the goggles in my group round came from. That was Mr. Pole's idea. Thanks. And Carrie's.
Is it hard to just walk into blurry darkness? Like, it seems scary to me. Like, if a sighted person's told, walk around with your eyes closed, it's scary. You're afraid you're going to hit something or fall downstairs.
I mean, it is at times, but you have certain techniques that help you feel more confident, like my cane. Helps me feel a little more confident, and plus I like it because I accidentally, like, it helps me from walking into things. Because even when I could see, poles and me did not get along. For some reason, I would turn my head, next thing I know, I'm in a pole. Like, it would just happen. But at first it was, like, scary, but then it was like, okay, this is fine. I'm cool. I got it. I got this. You know, I got this. I'm the real OG. I got it.
Do you ever have days where you're just like, I don't got this. This sucks.
I have them sometimes. It's not like days. It's like more like a moment. That could be like, I mean, I just have certain moments, I guess you could say, where you think about certain things that you used to be able to see and you can't see. Or if somebody says something that might be very sensitive, then it comes up. But other than that, I'm more fine because I joke about it a lot. So it takes a lot to kind of make me upset about it.
Yeah, you're adapting so well. Like,
Thank you.
it's something that would crush a lot of people or at least keep them down for many periods. And you are just laughing, enjoying, embracing life, not holding back.
Yep.
That's quite an inspiration.
Thank you. I mean, because it's my life. Why not live it to the best? Just like Cardi B and everybody else said, I'm living my best life. You know, you got to live your best life while you got it.
That's right.
It's the only one you got. Might as well.
That's awesome.